These snowflake ornaments are so easy to make, and you don't even need a pasta machine. We're going to make them using supplies from the Winter in Paris CreateAlong Box. Hey there, Sandy Huntress here for CreateAlong. We're going to start with a little bit of polymer clay as decoration for your snowflake, about a 3/4 inch ball, and you want it to be nice and smooth and well conditioned. So roll it really well until you don't have any more cracks or creases. Then put it on a tile and flatten it slightly, just with the palm of your hand. If there's any cracking around the edges when you do this, then roll it up again and condition it and warm it up some more. Next, we're going to take the La Francaise stamp, the texture sheet that came in the box. I love this script in French. I'm using Primo, and I didn't find I needed a reliefs, but if you do, then use a little Armor All. And position that on there, and you want to press pretty firmly. I'm actually standing up and pressing, and you can feel it through the clay. If you want, you can press with a block, but you may press it too much. It's harder to feel it. I kind of like the results just using my hand. And there you go. Repeat that to make 2 of these. When you are shaping your discs, it's a good idea to try to get them pretty close to the same diameter. And all you need to do is just put them back to back and gently squish. So this one is a little bigger, and I'm just barely tapping on it, pressing in those edges. That way when they're glued on your snowflake, you won't be seeing one peeking out from behind the other one. There. And now they're both about the same size. And then bake them at the manufacturer's recommended temperature for an hour. While your clay is baking, you can paint the wooden snowflake plaque. I've painted mine with iridescent pearl. I love this color from Golden, but you can paint yours anything you want, even just plain white. Here's one of my clay discs out of the oven. I just love the effect I get. I mean, you could certainly roll a sheet through the pasta machine and cut a circle, but I love this nice soft edge you get. So once these come out of the oven, you want to antique them. You can use whatever you want for antiquing, and if you want a great tip for super fast antiquing, check out my YouTube channel by just typing Sandy Huntress at YouTube and type the lazy way to antique. This takes about 10 seconds, and I used white for this. Next, we're going to glue our disc to our snowflake. Now there is a hanging hole, so make sure you pay attention where this is wording and have it going in the correct direction. You can use any glue you like here, super glue even, because it will glue very fast, but I'm going to use E6000 as it gives me a little bit of time to make sure I have this perfectly centered, and I'm just kind of looking and seeing how far out my disc goes so I know where to put the glue. And then just use a toothpick to apply little dabs. And I'm going to make my snowflake double-sided, and if you want to do that, paint both sides and then add your decorations to one side, let them dry completely, and then add the decorations to the other. I think will be the easiest way to do that. So double checking where my hanging hole is and the direction of my words. This is the rhinestone cup chain that came in the box, and I just thought it was so pretty. Every snowflake should have a little bit of sparkle. We're going to add lines of it along each spoke. And you cut between the cups with wire cutters. So on this one, I'm going to cut right there. Whoop. If you need to, you can actually just count the number of cups. So I think that one right there. And since your circle is not a perfect shape, I would probably just cut each one individually. Now these I am going to glue with a little tacky glue, just because the E6000 is great, but it's kind of globby and hard to hide. This is a non-stick craft sheet, by the way, I'm working on here. I love this because nothing, even 2-part epoxy, sticks to it once it's dry. And you could just leave glue or paint or anything on here to dry and then peel it right off. And add, which one was I doing this one? Little tiny dabs. I've got my little line of glue on there, and now I'm going to, as carefully as I can, put down my cup chain. And this part's a little fiddly, but it's oh so pretty. Use a tool like an awl just to help you position it, get it straightened out. And kind of hold one end, pull it out straight. Scrape up extra glue if you need to. And repeat for all the spokes, but make sure when you do this one that has your hanging hole that of course you don't cover up the hole. I'm just adding the last piece. And by the way, you have more than enough cup chain here to do both sides. Other variations that I could think of, you could do, instead of the stamping of the stamp, you could add a name or a date. You could use it as a gift tag or a jar topper for a special, like a food gift. You could further embellish it with maybe some hot fix cabochons on these other areas of the snowflake. I'm kind of using my tool here to straighten it out. You can also hold one end and pull the other, and that will make it straighten out. Let all that dry, add some cording to the hole, and you have a really beautiful snowflake ornament. So I hope this gets you inspired to try lots of different similar ideas. Once again, this is Sandy Huntress for CreateAlong, wishing you happy creating.